the Lord has blessed us greatly. Let's just say that. And I'm not ashamed to say that.
Honor the Lord with your possessions, so your barns will be filled with plenty.
So, without further ado, why don't we show you what we bought? Well, what's up guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and today's video is sponsored by Athletic Greens. I'll tell you more about that in just a few minutes. But behind me, you will see our 2019 Kubota Sidekick. And if I was going to offer you one suggestion, or if someone were to ask me, what's the most used tool on your farm? Or what's the first machine I should buy if I'm starting a farm? Right behind me is a prime example. This Kubota Sidekick, you guys have probably seen in no less than 300 to 400 videos. We use this every single day. And I'm not saying that everyone needs the Kubota Sidekick or the Kubota brand, whatever, but a side-by-side is probably, I'm not even gonna say probably, a side-by-side is by far the most used tool on my farm. Way more than any tractor, way more than any chainsaw, way more than any skid steer, anything. This gets used, I mean, all the time. So we got this Kubota Sidekick on a partnership with Great Plains Kubota in January of 2019. And it has a little over 2,200 miles on it currently. And it's probably only left this farm, either here or our Mill Creek property, aside from that, maybe 5 times, maybe. Of those 2,200 miles, 2,000 of them are right here on this farm. It does have one little small dent in the brush guard. We're not going to talk about that right now, but anyways, this thing has been an incredible machine, but we've upgraded. So today's video is sponsored by AG1 from Athletic Greens. 1 scoop, once a day, every day. Our mornings are a cluster. A lot of times we get up, get the kids around, take them to school, and then we're off to the gym. We've been doing CrossFit since like August, mid-August. Absolutely love it. So we've been drinking AG1 for, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 weeks, and it's a really interesting drink. And I've tried lots of similar products over the years, and they all taste like I'm drinking straight ground up alfalfa, but not AG1. AG1 is so much more than greens. One daily serving delivers a comprehensive blend of core health products working together to fill nutrient gaps and deliver a foundation for better health. Like I said, it's packed with vitamins and minerals. So don't be intimidated by that green color, because it does not, it's got a very fruity flavor to it almost. Unlike a lot of similar products, I don't feel like I'm sitting here drinking a bottle of alfalfa. Convenience in a hurry. Great way to get tons and tons of vitamins and minerals into your diet. I'll get up in the morning, drink this before I go work out, or come in for that recovery right after a workout. But I've always got time. 1 scoop, 1 minute, once a day, every day. So AG1 is made from the highest quality ingredients and the strictest manufacturing standards. It's NSF certified for sport, which is the gold standard for professional athletes. So if you want to give Athletic Greens and AG1 a try, be sure to go to athleticgreens.com/armsfamily. And they've got a really cool offer for you guys. So if you click the link in the description box or go to athleticgreens.com/armsfamily, they're going to offer you a 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free travel packs of AG1 with your first purchase. You can't put a price tag on your own health. So before I show you what we went out and purchased, I want to talk to you a little bit. Now, I know I'm torn. YouTube growth and business growth is hard for, I think it's hard for people to understand sometimes, but it's a business just like any other businesses, and you have to have business expenses to offset your taxes, to offset your taxable income. And at the end of the year, our tax guy was like, is there anything else you need to buy before the end of the year? Because we need to get that gross income down a little bit. So anyways, we did go out and buy a new side-by-side, and I'll show that to you in a minute. But I'm torn on it because I care too much, probably. My wife says I care too much about what other people think. And we always get those comments of, why are you buying so much? You always buy so much stuff, and you're just showing off your lifestyle. And I promise you, there's one thing about me. When I started a YouTube channel that I had no clue would ever be successful, or as successful as it is, I don't want to look flashy. Now, we bought a flashy side-by-side. I'm not gonna lie, I love it a lot. But I don't want that. I don't want to come across as that guy. And then this morning, well, a few days ago, I told you guys to go over and check out Jimmy Houston's devotional channel. And this morning, I was watching January 2nd. His whole devotional literally slapped me upside the head. And January 2nd, go back and watch it. January 2nd, I'll leave a link to it, and I may show a clip or two of it.
It's the Word of God and what God will do in your life when you honor Him by just one scripture a day. That'll honor God. Proverbs 3, 9, and 10 says, I wish I'd have read this ahead of time. Honor the Lord with your possessions, so your barns will be filled with plenty. One of the great things about the Bible as we read verses, it tells us something that we ought to do, or we ought to make a part of our life, and then the very next sentence will tell us what benefit that is to us, or why we should make that a part of our life. This is one of them right here. Honor the Lord with your possessions. Well, why should I do that, Jimmy? So your barns will be filled with plenty. That's why you should do that. So that's a great verse right there. I love that verse. I absolutely love that verse. If I honor God with my possessions, He's going to fill my barns with plenty. Have y'all seen my fishing buildings out there, my boat buildings? You seen all the tackle in there? God's been good. God has filled my barns with plenty. One key to being a successful Christian is tithing. Tithing, that's right. Tithing is an element of Christianity where we give 10% back to God. We've had some arguments in Sunday school classes about whether you tithe 10% of your gross pay or 10% of your net pay. I've always felt like it was gross, but that's just my opinion. Somebody told me, said, do you want a gross blessing from God or do you want a net blessing from God? Which do you want? So,
years ago, back when I was still working full-time, I made a promise, a public promise to you guys and to so many of you that weren't here yet. I was sitting in my greenhouse talking about, I felt like I had been cheating the Lord. I'd been cheating God because I wasn't paying my tithes properly off of my YouTube income. And I was telling you guys what my plans were to do with my YouTube income, and we were going to use it we're going to pay our tithes out of it, and we're going to pay off our truck really fast, like that year. And one thing that I failed to do last year with my YouTube income was to tithe. My family, my wife and I have tithed off of my income for a long time, and YouTube was kind of like play money coming in, so it didn't really ever make it into that category. So 10%, as soon as I get paid, 10% going straight to the church. I'll write a tithe check for that because I truly believe that's important, and the Lord is greatly blessing my family every day. So I feel it's my duty to go ahead and write that 10% check off that YouTube income, just like you would any other income. Making that commitment has been one of the biggest blessings of my life, and I try to be open and honest with you guys as I can. And let's just say Jimmy's devotional today about paying your tithes and blessing the Lord with your income and your gifts and your talents, and He will repay that back.
Honor the Lord with your possessions, so your barns will be filled with plenty.
The Lord has blessed us greatly. Let's just say that. And I'm not ashamed to say that. Whoa, the wind's blowing my camera over. I'm trying to beat the rain today. So, in saying all of that, we are actually going to be keeping the Kubota Sidekick. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm going to take it over to the Mill Creek property because I'm over there 3 or 4 days a week, and I'm always, you know, I've got tools and chainsaws and whatever we're doing. My little four-wheeler is just not cutting it. That 2003 Honda Rancher is, it's kind of on its last leg. So we're going to take the Kubota Sidekick over there, and it'll still get used multiple times a week. So without further ado, why don't we show you what we bought? Look at the size comparison. Oh my goodness. So this is a 2023 Can-Am Defender HD10, and it's the Lone Star edition, which is basically some upgrades. It's got the really nice two-tone seats, upgraded suspension, upgraded tires. It's got 30 by 9, hey, quit. 30 by 9, 14-inch mud tires. It is lifted a little bit and has like skid plates and stuff, rock sliders. This is a utility vehicle. Now, before some of you get a little concerned about it, let me explain. Now, I'm sure a lot of you remember last year we went out and purchased that Polaris RZR and took it trail riding, did a bunch of stuff, ended up having a very unfortunate accident. And this is not to replace the RZR. Now, this is big enough and bulky enough and strong enough and built to where it can do some trail riding, a lot more than the Kubota Sidekick, I feel like. But we're not buying this for trail riding. May take it a few places. Uh-oh, I don't know if I'm gonna beat the rain. May take it a few places, but this is not a RZR replacement, so don't freak out on me yet. But man, isn't it pretty? It is a 6-seater, and I like that because the Kubota Sidekick technically is a 2-seater. And one of the things, my wife's a photographer, and she always has families out here to do family pictures. And with the 6-seater, you know, obviously she can hold a lot more people and drive them around our property, take them down to the creek and do all that stuff. Why don't we pull this into the shop and finish there, since it's raining on me. I knew as soon as I opened the door and said, let's go to the shop, it'd quit raining. As soon as I come back out here to finish the video, it starts raining again. Let's just go to the shop. Okay, so as I was saying, she's a photographer, and this will be something that she can use to drive, you know, her clients around our property, around along the creek, and take pictures and do all that stuff. But there's 1,000 different ways that we can use this this side by side, and like I said earlier in the video, I guess I struggle with success, if that sounds logical at all. I don't know. I don't even know how to handle it. Sometimes I just wake up and just thank the Lord for where we are, where we've come. And, you know, the other night we were sitting around with some friends talking about, you know, when I first started this whole social media journey. And close personal friends were like, even then, you know, they were like, what are you doing? Why are you videoing all this? And I said, I don't know. I think I can make something of it someday. You never know. It might make me a little bit of side income. And as it progressed and progressed, I said, this is like a side hustle, man. This like helps me pay a few bills and helps pay for our feed for our livestock. And over time it grew, and I looked at it as a side hustle. And I told you guys, I told all my subscribers and my followers that, man, you need a side hustle, whether it's mowing lawns or, you know, cleaning up people's junk or taking pictures, photographer. You need a side hustle, whatever that is. And it's a business, and I was learning this world of business slowly over time, and we've expanded into so many different things. And the merchandise business, I never dreamed anyone would ever want to buy a t-shirt or a hat with our name on it. And then DJ starting her channel, and the Do Your Best stuff and the Do Your Best merchandise has been an unbelievable, huge success. And I just almost feel like it's not fair. That's my thing. I feel like it's not fair. Like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve even this barn. When I built this barn myself, it was an empty metal shell with dirt floors because that was all I could afford at the time. And you know, when we came in and put the concrete in it and spray foam insulated and electricity, then I was like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. And I feel like that devotional that Jimmy did this morning and the things he said, you know, specifically about the Lord will fill your barns. Like, I felt like the Lord was literally speaking to my soul through Jimmy Houston. And I don't deserve this type of success. I know I don't. I'm just a normal, average, everyday dude. But here we are, and I don't know how to handle it. Like, I could legitimately cry. This is blessings beyond measure. I know it's just a side-by-side, but the lifestyle we have, you know, I owe it all to the Lord, but I thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. And I don't want to ever come across to you guys as I'm just showing off. I get those comments all the time about, you know, it must be nice, and you're just bragging. You know what? We bought the skid steer, and we got, you know, the tractors and all the stuff, but we're still just the Arms family. We're still Daniel and DJ and Houston and Emily and Weston. We're still the same people, and we thank you guys so much for the journey that we've been on for several years now. I'm glad I came inside because the rain's kind of picking up a little bit. But it's just overwhelming to me. Now, as far as the Defender goes, man, side-by-sides they've come so far over the last several years. And one of the cool things about owning one is accessorizing, adding to it and making it your own. And this one already has, you know, some accessories added in tires and the lift. I did order a front windshield for it because you can't have a side-by-side without a top and a windshield. Emily wants a sound bar, which it does not have any sort of radio in it or anything, but you can buy just a Bluetooth sound bar to mount in here because her and her friends, you know, are teenage girls and they love music, and I like music, man. When we had the Razor, we always had music going in that thing when we were on it, and that was something that we really, really enjoyed as a family. Obviously, I feel like our days of rock crawling and all that stuff with the Razor are over, but there are hundreds of trails around the country in Colorado and Oklahoma and Arkansas and Texas and everywhere that you can just go ride trails and sightsee and do stuff. And that may be something we look at doing with this. My in-laws have a Polaris General, and they, a couple times a year, take off with their friends and go get a cabin in Arkansas or different places and just trail ride. And this is primarily, like I said, a utility vehicle for us, a work vehicle with a touch of play, maybe. We'll see. You guys hiding from the rain? It is supposed to rain for most of the day today. I'm hoping it will. The Oklahoma weather has been strange. Saw a thing on Facebook the other day that said the weather's out here acting like it didn't try to kill us 2 weeks ago, because it was single digits and very, very cold for a week. But now we've been in like the 70s. Like yesterday was 72, 73. It almost feels like spring. So I think the first thing I want to do is take these nets off. I know they're there for safety, but man, they are just ugly and annoying. I'll probably take those nets off. And my wife really likes the idea of putting half doors on there. Can-Am and a lot of aftermarket companies sell what they call a half door that latches. It's all, I mean, everything's ready to accept it. So you just put the half door on, and that would kind of keep some of the mud from flying in on your feet. You know, if she's got customers or clients that she's taking pictures of, she doesn't want mud thrown up on their dresses and things, and it looks really good. So this thing, I mean, I'm not a tech and spec kind of guy. I'm not going to go over all the features, but Can-Am, I've never owned a Can-Am, so this is my first experience. But we looked at the Polaris Rangers also, because they have a crew cab model, and there's just so much more room in the Can-Am. I'm a 6'3", 225-pound guy, and my knees touch the dash in the Can-Am. I'm sorry, in the Polaris Ranger. The Can-Am's got a lot more leg room, and this thing is quiet and smooth. It's got storage in the dash. It's like a removable toolbox. Look at that. And then, the seats flip up, and under this seat, you've got another removable storage box here. So lots of storage. There's storage in the dash. The middle seat flips up. There's actually some like rifle mounts that you can mount right here to put your rifle, when you're driving around. Look at this. It's like a pickup truck almost, man. It's got cup holders in the armrest, and they do the same thing in the back. Middle seat flips up, both seats. So much you can do with one of these, and I'm telling you, this Lone Star Edition, I'm not a Can-Am expert. Like I said, this is my first experience, but wow. And part of the reason I went with the Lone Star versus just their normal is the stance. These things are long, and we don't live on flat ground, and it's easy to high center a crew cab side by side because you've got so much space, so much distance in between the tires, and you'll belly out high center real quick on one of these. So there you have it. Don't eat me alive in the comments, because I promise you I'm not doing this to brag. But if I didn't show you guys, obviously this is something we're going to use on a daily basis, so I wanted to tell you, be upfront and honest, hey, we went out and purchased this thing. Not that we're not sponsored by Can-Am in any way. I paid my own hard-earned money for this machine, and we'll put it through the paces. And like I said, with the Kubota Sidekick, it's got over 2,000 miles on it of not hard use, but work use here on our farm. I love it. It's a great machine, and we're gonna take it over to Mill Creek. If it wasn't raining, I'd probably just take it over there today, but it'll get a lot of use over there, and this thing will hold our family a lot better. And yeah, I don't know, I'm excited to try it out. I'm excited to use it, but man, it sure is pretty. So guys, that's all I've got for today. Huge thank you to Athletic Greens for sponsoring today's video, helping us do what we do, and bring you guys content and buy more tools and toys and all that stuff. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.